Hi, I'm Dr. Barbara Shaw with Colorado State University Extension, and I'm here today to talk about STEM Power Kits and the specific lessons that we have developed to help you present fun and engaging science to your students. Solids, liquids, and gases, oh my, includes 2 experiments where we have a reaction, and then the students can look specifically at, is this a solid, is this a liquid, or is this a gas? Okay, this experiment with calcium chloride and baking soda, the solution gets warm. So you have your students working as partners. One student will hold the baggie open while the other student adds the chemical, and then they change places where the other student holds the baggie while the first one puts the chemical in. So the first step in this one is we add 1 spoon of baking soda. Now the spoon of baking soda, you don't want to get it heaping, it's just a regular spoonful. That is great. That gets added to the baggie. Top goes back on. That's one of the things that I continually repeat to students is make sure your top is back on. It's one of the things chemists make sure that they do is they add the chemical, they close the container. They add the next chemical, they close the container. That way if it drops, there's no spill to clean up. The second step is to look carefully at this. Now there's some humidity in the air right now, so it's not as fine powdery as it is sometimes it can be in Colorado. But there we go, they can look at it. And it's very tiny particles. So they can say it is a solid, but really tiny pieces of a solid. Good definition between a solid and a liquid, and they can really explore it looking at powder. Second step is to add 2 spoons of calcium chloride. Now with this one, I had you add 2 because it's hard with the little beads to get too much on your spoon. And so the 2 spoonfuls, that's perfectly fine, will be smaller than that 1 spoonful of baking soda just because it's easier to control the beads. Of course, you know, some students are going to add more because that's the way they are. The third step, we have a graduated cylinder here. So part of the standard is talking about measurement with objects that are not standard measurement objects. We are using a plastic spoon for the dry materials. So here we have a 10 milliliter graduated cylinder, and we want the students to add 10 milliliters of phenol red. Phenol red is an indicator. Now if they get a little too much, not quite enough, that's perfectly fine. It works. They add that to their Dixie cup. Now if you remember in the vinegar and baking soda experiment, they added the vinegar, then they added the bromothymol blue, and it changed color. This indicator comes out sort of this pinkish red color. We put it in the bag, and at neutral solution, phenol red is red. We ziplock our baggie closed. One of the things that is a good hint is for you to go around, double check and make sure all the baggies are closed. Also squeeze out extra air so they can really see the entire experiment happening. And then everybody's done. You've double checked all the bags. On the count of 3, we're going to tip it over. Of course, somebody's already spilled it, and so I just have them hold it under the table while they're oohing and aahing. So 1, 2, 3, tip, and then I have them gently mix it up with their fingertips. It is getting quite warm, not so that it burns them, but they can tell it's getting warm. It is much warmer than the solution was when they were pouring it. It's also inflating our baggie. It's fizzing and hissing. So we have solid, there's still solid pieces in there. We have liquid, but we also have the production of gas. We have heat We have a color change. So all of these are indicative that we also have a reaction occurring. It's making the gas, which is a different material or matter than the solid and liquid. It's producing heat and it's changed color. So you can talk about this. You can talk about the states that each one of these chemicals is in. You can see it's still inflating. It's still very warm. We have a little bit of pink where it hasn't mixed up. And that is a calcium chloride and baking soda experiment. I hope that you had fun with these STEM Power Kits. I hope your students had a blast learning more about science, and best of all, I hope those underlying concepts that the standards address have been easily met.